Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm on my own with a camera, came to the gym arguably a little bit earlier to see if the gym was a little bit less populated for me to, stick the camera in corners and record the session. I am in Stacks Gym in Bexhill. It's a great gym, lucky enough to call it my home gym now. It has become my home gym since November, but it has been a gym where I have always liked to train in. I think the last time I was here, I started coming here in 2023. We're in 2026 again, and look at me, 3 years later, still coming here. They have upgraded their equipment massively. There's a lot of Prime, Atlantis, and lots of very, very, very cool pieces. So I thought for my prep, it will be so much better to train here. Also because they have a posing room and I'm able to, to practice my posing. So what's today going to be about is obviously I'm going to walk you through what has been my leg session for the last 13 months. This is about a year and 1 month. I've not changed my leg session. Obviously right now I'm being coached. I've been coached by Adrian Morris for over a year now. Yesterday was our year anniversary. So he's really the one taking charge of of my training. Of course, being coached, it doesn't just mean, tell me what to do, I just do it. It's an exchange of opinion, feedback, and obviously changing, everything needs changing, right? Which is the beauty of coaching. So we've come to the conclusion that, this setup for legs once a week was more than enough for me. There's obviously people who train legs more than once a week, but personally for me, once a week is completely fine. In fact, I was able to grow my legs quite significantly, even with one leg session. So for now, we're gonna run it. And so the session kicked off with abs on the cable. And really the intention with this is there's no activation of core. The intention is purely hypertrophic. I want to grow the size of my rectus abdominis, my six-pack muscles. I literally want to increase the size of my abs. So we start with abs, cable crunches. It's one of the best setup for your rectus abdominis. So much superior to ab machines. It's personally my favorite. Been running it for many, many years now, and it's just the best. The intention here is, like I said, hypertrophic, and just keeping your abs engaged all the way up to the top, and then pushing the air out, and thinking of bringing the end of your rib cage towards your belly button. So rather than thinking of going down, think of going down and back, down and back. And once again, if you can keep your abs engaged at the top as well, that's really where the magic is at. And point number 2 is to not use your hip flexors. So you want to keep your knees back in order to really maximize the ab work and minimize the hip flexor work, which is, once again, one of the mistakes that a lot of people make with this movement. Personally, I like to superset this with standing calf raise. To be honest, AJ put me on leg press, calf press, which is something I've been doing for a long time, but just for how this gym is laid out, leg press being in a completely different room, I just like to do standing calf raise now. The concept is the same. If you see me doing it now, you will notice how I stop 1-2 seconds at the bottom, and the stretch, and the tension. And this is purely to maximize the tension at the bottom, which is where really the magic is at when you're trying to grow your calves. And of course, you want to drive upwards, almost wanting to be, I don't know, a ballerina. One of the mistakes that a lot of men especially make with this movement is they don't go all the way up to the top. And then as a result, you'll see them loading a lot of weight, but this way it's not being used to its fullest. So I would rather load less and do it with zero momentum and have like slow, controlled, intense sets rather than just overloading them. So I've done 3 sets of abs, 3 sets of calves and 2 sets of abductor. Now, I say I want to grow my legs, but as you know, legs are a muscle with, it's not a muscle, it's a compound of muscles. We have our quads, we have our hamstrings, we have our glutes, we have our adductors, hip flexors, we have calves, and and of course, without even going into the detail of every single muscle, but as you know, say you want to grow your legs, but what does it look like? Many people think it's the quads, you have to grow the quads. But in reality, my quads are actually okay, they're well developed, and it's not really a priority while I'm still training with intent and I still want to grow them. It's not the priority. The priority is my adductors and my hamstrings. In fact, in this moment, in this workout, you're going to see me performing hamstring curls twice. I'm going to do a seated variation, which we're going to start now on the prime seated echo. And then at the end of the session, after RDLs, I'm going to be doing a lying hamstring curl as well, which every time I get to that point of the workout, I'm so done. But it reminds me of just how much of a focus hamstrings are. They're going to make my side chest and side tricep look a hell of a lot better. So in my head is literally everything that's in my head is I want to look as impressive as possible the next time I'm going to be on stage, which is going to be in 18 weeks and 5 days today. So let's do some hamstring curl on the seated prime. While I'm warming up, thought it was a bit funny because there was an older lady on this machine earlier, and instantly I thought, like, how cool is that? Like, she could be my mum, and she's training, and I just think it's really cool because she's clearly above 60s, potentially 70s, and she's working out, and it's great. It instantly puts a smile on my face. Like, it's amazing. But I think she saw me with the camera, like in the corner. I think she was probably being worried about her being filmed. So it's funny sometimes how people are annoyed by cameras being around. Yet if they need something and they're going to Google something, then they're going to be very happy to find a YouTube video that answers that very question. Yet when people are in the process of doing that, sometimes maybe they think, oh, it's annoying, oh, this guy with the camera, I hope he's not going to catch me. Like, dude, I'm not going to catch you. You're not going to be in my video. I'm going to make sure that you're not in my video. The last thing I want is for people who don't want to be in the video, to be in the video. So, filming in the gym it's acceptable nowadays. It's cool. But obviously, I have to be respectful of other people. If there were people around me right now, I wouldn't just mindlessly record. I'd be, of course, respectful and place the camera at a point where it's not bothering anyone. That's at least the way I see it. You shouldn't feel entitled just because you're filming. You should be at the center of the gym, and people need to avoid me. I think you need to be the one avoiding people respectfully, and just do what you want to do without being in people's way. Simple as. There's these leg curl and these leg extension right next to each other. I feel like it's almost a disservice if you don't perform in supersets. There's really good science that suggests they're training opposite muscles in a superset fashion, of course with the adequate amount of rest. Actually increases muscle growth. And of course, every study needs to be taken with a pinch of salt, but there's more than one study who says this. So, if I can, the machine next to me is empty and it's like right next to me, I will perform in supersets. So the way I do it is I'm going to do a leg curl and then the rest about 90 seconds to 2 minutes, sometimes even 3 minutes. Rest is king. I will always take as much rest as humanly possible, and then I'll perform the leg extension. And then once again, rest and perform this. So in terms of like warming up, there's no right and wrong. personally, I like to start from 50% of the way I'm going to lift, which, looking at my logbook, for the curl is 95.8. So I start with about 45 kilos, about 6 or 7 reps. I go up to like 77 kilos, and then I'll do like 2 or 3 reps. And then sometimes I might perform one heavy rep with maybe 85 kilos before resting and then going to my sets. But if I'm feeling like things are going pretty well, then I'll probably stop at 2 warm-ups and just get it over with my working set without creating too much fatigue prior to my working set. And I know it seems like warm-up is not an important topic, but warm-up is a very, very important topic, because how you warm up dictates how you ultimately are going to lift. If you warm up too much, you're going to be too fatigued for your working set. And if you warm up too little, then you're just not going to be primed for the set. So it really all starts with the warm-up. And as cliche as it sounds, warm-up is really important. So just find what works for you and keep experimenting. It's literally what I would recommend. So obviously with the prime knuckle, with literally every prime machine, you have the opportunity to change the resistance profile of every machine, right? So you can make it heavier in the stretch position or in the short position, or heavier in the middle. And then there's a couple of settings that are a bit of a middle ground. So heavier start to middle and heavier middle to end. So to be honest, even here, there's no right and wrong. I like to obviously load the stretch position a little bit more because the stretch position is the weakest. So it makes sense to obviously load the weakest. But to be honest, sometimes I also play with different resistance profile. So right now I'm on setting 1. And the set I've just performed is heavier in the middle. But for my back off set, which is going to be a set where it's going to be higher repetitions and a little bit less weight, I'm actually going to load the lengthen and the middle. Reason being, I'm just going to go a little bit lighter than usual, but my hope is to really load the lengthen and the middle. But then again, many times I will actually start with setting 5 on my working set and maybe do the back off with number 1. I think it's a really cool way to train, because it's not about confusing the muscles like Arnold used to say, but it's about get stronger at every single range. Just get stronger at every range, and I think you can't go wrong with that. But of course, if you don't have a machine such as this, you're a little bit more limited, but then again, it's not that much of a limiting factor because there's always more you can do, even with one setting. Do you need that one? If it no, it's fine. Huh? No, it's fine. I'll just move the camera. Don't worry.
Fine, you've set that up.
You know, I know it.
Honestly, I'll go
There's no. I don't want to impact your training. Don't worry.
Fine.
I literally just said that on the camera. Just be respectful of people. I think if I'm not respectful while I'm recording, I'm just chatting shit.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? I was just like saying, record if you need to record. Obviously, if you want to, just be mindful of people. Don't be like in the way of people. gonna move into the last of the leg extensions. I'm gonna keep setting 5, which is heavy at the bottom. I'm gonna stick this pad as far down as possible to the point I have to get off my chair. And let's go. It's another very important part of the rant I had earlier when my camera ran out of battery that I've said. I need to say again, there are no first, second class exercises. If you think as the leg extension, the leg curl, just because they're isolation movement, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't treat them as importantly as a squat or as a leg press. If you start thinking that exercises are less important than others, then you just start developing a mindset that's not conducive to more muscle growth or getting better. The leg extension, for example, is not a second class exercise, or the leg curl, or even a bicep curl for that matter. There, of course, everything is contextual, and if you know a bodybuilder trying to get as big and better as possible on stage, then you might have different needs. That's totally fine. But if you are performing a leg extension, okay, if you include it in your workout, then my advice is just to go for it. Just go hard. Just go as if it's a 5 plate or 6 plate hack squat. Just go hard. Okay. What's really cool about obviously prime machines, and these machines particularly, is obviously you can once again change your resistance profile. But if you think about it, if you go in a commercial gym, the leg extensions will be very, very fucking heavy at the top, right? So, and also the leg pad won't go back as much. So the range of motion is very poor. And oftentimes the seat won't go back as much as it should. So one really good thing about this machine is, of course, using the pad. But what I use to make a leg extension better in a commercial gym, so say if I'm training a pure gym or the gym where the leg extension is terrible, it's a matrix one, I have an attachment you just place on top of the bottom pad, and it creates that much more depth where your legs really go far back, and that adds so much to the stretch, so much to the exercise. Oftentimes I will strap myself with a belt as well to really keep my body stable in place. So, if you buy that attachment, which I will link in the description below, by the way, and the belt, which I will also link in the description below, you can literally make a leg extension in the gym almost as good as a prime leg extension. So yeah, treat your leg extension as first class exercise. While I wait for the hack squat to be free, I thought I'd say another thing. First of all, in this gym we have a great selection of leg machines. Look at me talking advertisements. We have the Cybex hack squat, which is amazing. Obviously, we have a pendulum squat, we have an Atlantic V squat. But what I want to use today is the Atlantis hack squat, okay, which is a 45 degrees hack squat, and very comfortable, very smooth. And I just want to stick to one thing for a little bit longer. Sometimes I will use the Cybex, which is goated, of course. But today I just go in my head, I have to use the Atlantic hack squat because I've been using it for the past few weeks. I think I'm on a good roll of progression. So I'm just gonna wait for the Atlantic squat to be free. Now, I think currently, I used to train with knee sleeves, okay? So you would have seen me squatting with knee sleeves. But we made the change recently to go to one ply sleeves. Like, I'll show you these sleeves are like so paper thin. It's basically like having no sleeves whatsoever. Like, I might as well just train with no sleeves. Reason being, you know, it's not wrong to use sleeves, but right now I just want to use the least help possible, and just see where I can get to, you know, without them. Which, you know, for a 6'5" guys like me, 6'4", it's difficult. It's hard. 5 plates feel like 7, but ultimately it's all part of the game. Anyway, I'm going to warm up with literally 1 plate at a time. I'm gonna get up to 4 plates, so 4 warm-ups, and then do 1 set. 8 to 12 reps, as close to failure as possible, as intense as possible. 1 shot, 1 kill. No multiple sets. All done? Yeah, we're all right. Lovely stuff. Let's go do some hack squat. After that, leg press. Gonna use the Hamstring leg press, which is amazing. Big platform, great machine, and do the same thing. 1 shot, 1 kill. I think currently I'm running it at 7.5 plates, which is over 300 kilos. And yeah, running at 300 kilos. Yes. After leg press, so now I've got an opportunity to tell you what I think about the two main movements, which was hack squat and leg press. So we had 5 plates aside on the Atlantis. Basically, zero sleep, and he moved for what I think was 11 reps. I'm gonna have to be honest, I think I counted 11 reps, but watching this video back, I'll probably have an idea and update my logbook. I think it was 11 reps, which was significantly better. Last week I had a flu. I couldn't move it for 5 reps, and I didn't even know I had the flu until I started doing hack squat. Today leg press moved 300 kilos for 8, which was my personal best. I matched it. I've not done 9 or 10 with 300 kilos. This is actually my second time doing 300 kilos, and I'm really happy with that because it basically counts as a PB. Okay, so if you PB the hack squat and you can match your leg press, it's a great day. If you PB your hack squat and your leg press together in one day, it's a phenomenal day. It's 100% sleep score and perfect recovery. It's amazing, but realistically, those days are really rare. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is generally just wait about 10 minutes before I start warming up with the RDL, and I'm just gonna go bar, 1 plate, 2 plates, 3 plates, and then honestly, I'm just gonna load 4 plates, which is gonna be a total of 180 kilos. I'm just gonna focus on doing 2 sets with 180, 1 at a higher rep. I don't know where I'm gonna land today, but I know my coach said that we really want to get into complete, like we want to get the bar up to mid shin, so that changed the execution massively. We just like pushing the range of motion a little bit and being a little bit more conservative with the load. Okay, so I'm not gonna load 200 or 210, which is my all-time best RDL. We're just gonna do 180 and 180 again. While I'm saying this, I need to see how I feel after the working set. 5 minutes in between the 2 sets, and just imagine doing RDL after abs, calves, adductors, leg curl, leg extension, hack squat, leg press. RDL is now number 8 on the rotation. I'm already battered, but this is what getting better means. It means doing things well out of your comfort zone and master them. Gonna have to be honest, like right now it feels like I have no energy in me, but I will make the energy. I will make it happen. I'm also much leaner than I used to be, and I can give you 1,000 excuses why that is going to be a impacted set, but I also tell you I'm going to do my best, and today I'm going to try to do at least if I can do 12 reps with 180 on my top set, it will be a personal best in this new block of training. So let's see if we can make that happen. I am home for the outro of this video. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you're one of those rare individuals who made it to the end of this video, I would like to know, and maybe leave it in the comments, if you would like to see more of these videos, maybe on a push session, pull, upper, and just get more value from sessions, and just see also what it looks like to train from like a raw perspective with full-on mic during the set. So yeah, today was a pretty good session. Like I said, last week I had the flu, so I think today there was still some on the way to recovery. So I'm very happy with how the session went, and you know, between me and you, I think filming sessions, it holds you accountable to an even higher standard. So you know, when you film it, it's like you can't fuck it up. It's gonna have to be. I mean, to be fair, and I tell you this very honestly, I always do my best on a gym floor. I've never stopped doing my best. Some days are better, some days are worse, but whether I'm recording with a phone, with a camera, or I'm not recording, my sets look pretty intense anyway. But I had to make myself this way. I haven't always been this way, which is why I love being a coach, which is why I love supporting my clients every single week and make them become the best version that they can possibly be. There's so many things that I've learned from coaches, mentors, much more experienced people than me. I still learn from them, which is why I can proudly say I am being coached by one of the best in the industry, who is also a natural bodybuilder, who is a person who I look up to and inspired me massively. So in a way, I like to think that I also inspire my clients. So today we are, I said it earlier, about 18 weeks out and a few days, and my coach said that the level of body fat is a little bit ahead of time, which makes me feel good. Today is a high day, so 445 grams of carbs going in. I'm literally about to have some grass-fed beans and egg white and 120 grams of rice, which can't wait to smash. It's in the rice cooker right now. But I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more of these videos, or if you're thinking of, you know, anything that may or may not help you. Drop it in the comments and let me know what you would like to see. If you want to subscribe to my channel, do so if you found any value from this video. And until next time, have a blessed rest of the day.